Hey, all you A2 PCers, welcome to another week. We're going to work on factoring when the A value is 1. Now, if I have my standard form, start again. AX squared plus BX plus C. Okay, remember the A goes in front of the X squared term, B goes in front of the X, and then C is our constant. So it's just a number. So our A value is always going to be 1 right now. And we are going to solve X squared plus 5x plus 6 equals 0. Okay, so I need to think about this. I know that the only things that multiply together to get x squared right now are x and x. So I need to think about this then. Okay, what numbers multiply to 6 and add to 5? And you guys have seen this before. What numbers multiply to 6 and add to 5? Well, 3 times 2 is 6. 3 plus 2 is 5. So this is a positive 3 and a positive 2. Then when we set these equal to 0, so we have x plus 3 equals 0 and x plus 2 equals 0, I'm going to solve for x. So we're going to subtract 3. So 0 minus 3 is negative 3. We're going to subtract 2. 0 minus 2 is negative 2. So I solved it and I have x equals negative 3 and x equals negative 2. Now, what does this mean in the whole scheme of things real quickly? When I'm graphing, that means my parabola, and I know it's a parabola because it's a quadratic, the highest exponent is a 2. It's going to cross the x-axis at negative 3 and negative 2. Okay, I know it's going to open up. It's going to cross my y at 6. How do I know that? I plug in 0, 0. We're left with 6. I could find my vertex by taking negative b over 2a, but that's something we're going to learn later, so we're not going to do that. Okay, so right now you just need to know how to factor and how to solve for x. The next problem we have is x squared minus 4x equals 12. Now, in order to solve this, we want to make sure that we are set equal to 0. So I'm going to have to actually subtract 12 from both sides. So we have x squared minus 4x subtracting 12. Now we're set equal to 0. Once again, our leading coefficient is 1. So I know my first terms here have to be x times x, because x times x gets me x squared. And then I think, okay, what multiplies to negative 12 and adds to negative 4? What multiplies to negative 12 adds to negative 4? Well, I've got a negative 6 and a positive 2. So we have x minus 6 times x plus 2. Now, if you don't believe me, let's multiply it back out. X times x is x squared. X times 2 is 2x. Negative 6 times x. And negative 6 times 12. Look at that. We got x squared minus 4x minus 12. So that's one way to check our work. So here's our factor version. X minus 6 times x plus 2. Once it's set equal to 0, I can solve for x. So I'm going to add 6 to both sides. 0 plus 6 is 6. I'm going to subtract 2. 0 minus 2 is negative 2. So our solutions are 6 and negative 2. And you'll have another video coming at you when a does not equal 1.